We started doing some natural themes. So it's always something a little bit different, something to excite you. We have all sorts of wonderful things to show you, including the elephants behind us and all sorts of more exciting things in the exhibition houses. So we are going to lead you on a little tour through the exhibition, and I wanted to introduce Christian Primeau, who is the manager of the Enid A. Haupt Conservatory, the building we're standing in right now, and he's the designer of the Orchid Show. And Marc Hachadourian, also back there, will be on the tour with us. He is our director of the Nolan Greenhouses and the curator of orchids. So he's our sort of rare plant and orchid geek for all those special questions. We're going to head in this direction, and we're happy to we're going to stop in a few different locations and tell you all sorts of things, and then we're all available for interviews afterwards. So enjoy. It's beautiful, balmy, tropical in here in our little jewel box, and we like that people can escape winter every single year here at the Orchid Show. I guess we'll start here and talk about the elephants, which are really a wonderful symbol of Thailand. We just had the holiday train show in this same exact space, and we're going to have a Chipoli Glass exhibition here at the end of April. And we wanted to do something that was totally different than the train show and totally different than the Chipoli Glass show. So here you have elephants. Here you have.
Wait a minute, did you just call me an Oh my God. Anyway, good morning everyone. Welcome to the 15th anniversary of the Orchid Show here at the New York Botanical Garden, which has now really become a spring tradition here, not only at the New York Botanical Garden, but in New York in general. As Karen mentioned, we haven't done a geographic theme in a long time, and through the design planning process, mocking up different ideas, Thailand kept coming up not only in terms of an iconic center for tropical horticulture. We, as I was talking to someone a little bit earlier, when we think of gardens and gardening, many times we go right to England, the Chelsea Flower Show and these classic English flower borders. But in tropical horticulture, one of the great and probably one of the finest centers of not only plant collectors, but also plant horticulture in general in the tropics is Thailand. The Thai people are not only obsessed with variegated, unusual forms of plants, but collecting everything from cacti to palms to orchids. And the orchid has become a very important part of Thai horticulture, not only in their appreciation of the flower in their gardens and gardening, but Thailand is also a major center for orchid production, most notably Vandas and Dendrobium orchids, which are highlighted throughout the exhibition. The Thai people not only appreciate these plants for the beauty and the color of the blooms, but because they also grow very well in the Thai climate. Thailand has over 1,000 native orchid species. Many of these species are actually in the background of some of the hybrids that are on display. And so the orchid exhibition runs throughout the entire conservatory like it's done in the past, with plants that will be displayed in the lowland rainforest galleries, the permanent orchid case, which will have a suite of miniatures and unusual plants from our extensive botanical collection, which is one of the largest orchid collections of any botanical garden in the world. And as the visitors travel, they will end up in the main body of the show, which is inspired by not only the gardens and designs of Thailand, but also incorporates a number of important cultural aspects, because these things flow and are very tied closely into the gardens and their designs, including the elephant, which is a very important symbol in Thailand and something that is very much appreciated by the Thai culture. And so I'll pass it over to Christian and talk about how he worked up to the design and incorporated some of these elements, and then we'll go into the show, and as Karen mentioned, be available for questions individually or as a group as need be.
So,
Christian.
Hey guys, good to see you again. If you'll indulge me for 1 second. Has anybody ever met Christopher Lloyd? You know of Christopher Lloyd?
Yes.
Great gardener. When I first got into the industry, straight out of school, realizing that I knew nothing, he was actually kind of a mentor of mine. And I was lucky to speak to him on several occasions before he died. And on one of those last visits he made to the United States, we were talking about color combinations and combinations of plants, and I said, well, what about this combination? What about this color combination? And he stopped me and he said, Christian, reds, oranges, purples, who gives a damn? And of course it had much more power coming from him with that proper British accent. And that's all I could think of when we were putting the show together, because the Thai, in many ways, don't give a damn. They use color unabashedly. beautiful, bold colors. Color is extremely significant in Thai color. So in Thai culture, there are unlucky colors, there are lucky colors, colors assigned to every day of the week. So in some ways they do give a damn how they use it, but they love color. So that's the first thing you're going to notice as you walk through. Obviously, I can't hide the elephants, but the elephants will be in the show as well, out here. You will see traditional bamboo structures. So we went online and we researched how they would weave these materials. We ordered bamboo from Georgia, and we played around and finally got it down. So you'll see some traditional Thai bamboo screenings, and we use those to separate some of the sections of the design. The main body of the first house, of House 5, is based on a palm alley at Nolan Greenhouses, which is an interesting alley. It really is more British, French, colonial, very tight elements, with tight topiary and space trees. Of course, this being an orchid show, we really spiced that up a little bit with color, so as not to bore anybody. So that is a little bit more exciting than the alley there, but based on that alley nevertheless.
Repeat the name of the garden, please.
Nong Nooch. Am I saying that right, Karen?
Yes.
All right.
What are some lucky colors?
It depends. It all depends on the day of the week when you were born. So unfortunately, some days of the week you will be seeing colors that are probably unlucky. But in order to keep it lucky, we would have to change out the entire show every day, which we can't do. So we're going to take our chances. So as we get to the main centerpiece, you'll see the spirit houses, which are small, kind of ornate carved homes for guardian spirits. So most homes, businesses, and gardens will have these little homes, these little houses. People will leave offerings to the spirits to keep them happy. There are some out there, so things like Fanta, you'll see Fanta soda, fruit, candies, little trinkets. Undecided whether we're going to encourage guests of the garden to leave trinkets. That might be more than we're bargaining for. But those are the Thai spirit houses. And then as we enter House 4, you'll see the traditional sala. And that's basically a pavilion where you go for respite from the sun, from the heat, to relax. We did talk a little bit about incorporating some of the ornate, beautiful gilded architecture, but I don't think it's needed. I mean, you look at the orchids and the color they present, and they speak for themselves, and we don't want to detract from that. So this is more of a traditional, kind of a country structure that you would see. So I think you should probably walk through, enjoy the show, and of course, if you have any questions, we'll all be right with you.
I have a
So,
question.
sure.
About the design process. Are you elephant?